Sports Limelight, episode 67, special Buddy League Fantasy Update Edition, Drew.
Yay! How's it going?
It's going quite well, thank you. And it's going really well for you in first place.
I'm living the dream, man. I'm just taking it as it comes. I'm excited.
29 points so far for you in the rotisserie format. Nick second with 28. Then Mike, 26, Matt and I with 25, Dave with 23, so super close with the top six. I'm loving this competition. Unfortunately, Brad in 7th with a mere 12.
Yeah, tough break for him this first rotation, but hey, he's a contender, man. He'll be up there.
He always finds a way to hang around. It'll be interesting to see, I think, how much this kind of deficit translates into, how big of a deficit it really is. It's easy for us to tell, when, let's say, after 6 weeks we were going head-to-head and, Brad is 1-5, he's 3 games back of the playoff spot or whatever, but I think it's, at least for me, it's hard to understand how well he needs to do the rest of the way to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, being 3 games back, I think is tougher to overcome than being, 20 points back.
You want me to show you tough? I'll show you tough.
It's definitely tougher, yeah.
He's kind of not dependent on his schedule now.
Mm-hmm.
So if he puts up some 7s, no matter what the guys in front do, especially because their group's so close, he's going to gain ground no matter what, and plenty of time left to do so.
That's right.
How are you liking your team so far this year? We mentioned already, of course, being in first place. What's been the biggest reason for that, and do you have any concerns on the other hand?
My team is awesome because it is injury-free.
The guys who have been playing have been injury-free. However, and this I think is a positive, you're in first place and you haven't even gotten anything from John, not a single game played by John Wall or Ricky Rubio yet.
This is true. What I meant when I said non-injury players, I meant players I can still use that aren't injured. Like I don't have a hole in my lineup.
Having to replace players, or a guy plays twice and then you can't use him the third time.
Yes, I like my team. I guess my major surprise is that Tim Duncan is still going strong.
0.4 less than Dwight Howard so far. It's amazing. Duncan with a 34.1, Howard with a 34.5. He has dropped 6 points from his last year average, and we expected that coming in, having changed teams. But, man, your veterans are really, between Duncan and Parker, really exceeding expectations and exceeding their draft position so far.
I agree, and I think my favorite draft pick so far has been Kemba Walker. I got him real late, and he's the leading scorer for the Bobcats.
In the 13th round, well done.
Why, thank you.
He doesn't average 20 points a game like Eric Gordon, but 16, pretty good.
That's all right, man. He is getting to Gordon's level soon. I can feel it. Now, the ultimate surprise has been James Harden. Would you agree with this?
Oh, I would. What a gem Dave found there with Harden. In the 8th round, he's getting a 36 so far.
That's awesome.
Yeah, really the biggest reason that Dave is in the mix the way he is. 6th place, but very close to, close to first place, basically.
Oh, yeah. If he gets a 7 and I get a 1, we're tied.
And he hasn't gotten any games played from Eric Gordon or Danny Granger yet. He needs Eric Gordon's 20 points.
Once Eric Gordon gets in there, there's no stopping that team. How about your team, Bill? You just got Kevin Love back. That should be exciting.
Glad to finally be able to deploy him. And he seems to have picked up right where he left off, getting around a 40-point average.
So, Bill, let me ask you this. During the draft, you were really adamant about trading up to get this guy, Josh Smith. What is your feeling on him now?
I think he's yet to play his best ball of the season. He's only getting a 30 so far this year, a 35 last year, and I expected him to be a 35 this year. So far, not a good move. I guess I could have taken David Lee instead. He was pick 15, getting a 33. Carmelo Anthony, I don't remember why I wanted Smith over Anthony. It seems obvious now that Anthony was the pick. Brad got Anthony at 12, and he's getting a 37. So a 7-point mistake there so far by me.
Hey, Bill, no worries, man. It's early. He'll come around.
Yeah, I think so. He's young and healthy. No reason not to. He hasn't forgotten how to play.
So, after the first rotation, which teams do you like and which teams scare you?
Well, obviously Nick is going to be good. And then Matt's team scares me. He
Oh,
has
yeah?
Damian Lillard he's only averaging 28 on the season, but he can have some real big games, and if it happens when you need to beat him, that can be pretty frustrating.
Yeah, that's good stuff, man.
He made a good pick with David Lee, 15th overall, as I mentioned.
You know what? I'm actually afraid of Mike. He's got LeBron, Anderson Varejao, who is probably the biggest surprise at the forward center mark,
Oh,
and
yeah, 33.
Aldridge, and Rajon Rondo is actually in the top 15 scoring. So
Rondo having a career year so far. Man, we should all not show up to the draft last year, huh?
I know I'm gonna do that next year. I'm gonna give you my list right now.
Maybe that means trust your list over your kind of snap judgment.
Yeah, that's true. And you know how I am when it comes to drafting and picking up free agents. I don't like to stray away. If it's not broken, don't fix it, or whatever that saying is.
Yep, you've still not made a drop pick in the past 2 seasons.
That's right. I'm riding this draft to the championship, baby.
I'm looking back on my list now. I'm somewhat comforted that I had Smith ranked over Carmelo Anthony. So at least I didn't have Anthony over Smith and then do the opposite when the time came. That would have been disappointing. But yes, ride your 15 for 15 to the championship. You'll be like known as a great draft guru if you do that.
Yeah, I will have to win one to be considered that. So.
Oh yeah, minor details.
But yeah, I like Mike's team. 4 players in the top 15 scoring.
That's the way to do it. I didn't like my team that much last year, but then when I actually looked at it, it ended up that I had 4 of, I think, the top 13 scorers. I think it showed that not having Durant or James cost you a lot, but you can overcome it. It seems like they're so much better than even the third guy. And Kevin Love did average a 42.7 last year. But if you have Durant or James, it's so much built-in security and consistency to build around.
Yeah, I agree. There's a big drop-off from the top 2, so you kind of have to work your way down and pick the players you need or want.
You can't miss on a lot more picks. The margin for error is smaller.
So what about how about Kobe Bryant? He's almost 40 and he's got a 40.
Oh man, we keep wondering when that drop-off year is going to happen with him. It hasn't happened yet. He's now going to be 34 years old. Anyone born before me, I don't like to have in the league.
You were born before me. Get out of the league. Well, hey, he just scored 30,000 points, so that's pretty impressive. And he's leading the league in scoring.
Amazing.
And ball hogging.
If only he had a point guard to distribute the ball to him this way.
I figured Dwight Howard's numbers would go down, but I also thought Kobe Bryant's would go down too, but apparently not.
Gasol's have gone down, right?
He's not even in the top 20.
Oh, yeah, there he is. Nick's team, 27.3. Ouch. 3rd round pick.
There's the better Gasol in town. It's Mark.
That's right. By 1 fantasy point. 28.7.
Yeah, so I like my team because I have, 2 decent scoring people with Howard and Duncan. But from rank 21 to 40, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 players between 21 and 40. So
that's good. So a lot of guys you can depend on.
That's right.
Although I would like to see Darren Williams needs to pick it up. Kind of a surprise.
Well, according to Fantrax, he's averaging a 30.1.
Are there any free agents left? Without you don't have to name them since your pick is soon, and I pick in front of you. But are there any free agents left that you're interested in getting?
Well, Kirilenko is on the board, and he's a 27.
Yeah, not bad. I think he's
I
injured.
think that's going to drop because Love is back.
Right.
If I needed a guard, George Hill is there. He's a 25. Mo Williams.
Jameer Nelson also. Oh, they're all grouped around that 25 number.
Yeah, I was contemplating Raymond Felton, but I was hoping he would last, but Brad picked him up.
I would have taken him at my spot, too, in the 2nd round.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to see a lot of good players out there in case you do need to pick one up.
Yep, a lot of usable guys. it seems like not a ton of upside. Like certainly no Jeremy Lin like last year, but guys that can fill out a lineup that won't be disastrous, I guess.
Exactly. And I see World Peace is on the list. No one likes World Peace, I guess. Oh yeah, I noticed you dropped your son Ilyasova. Was it because he's injured?
It was because he'd been doing terrible, but now he's had a good week right after I dropped him. I should have hung on to him a little longer just because there were guys that could have been dropped first that were like even less of a hope to get good. Like Bogut, they don't even know when he's going to come back now. I guess I wanted to hold on to Bradley Beal because he's a rookie. But yeah, Chris Humphreys could have dropped him.
Yeah.
Sports Limelight, episode 67. Thank you for listening to the Fantasy Edition. Drew, good luck in the coming weeks.
Why, thank you. You as well. And cheers to all the buddies out there who are playing fantasy.
Good luck, buddies.